Hello and welcome to today's webinar, which is called How to Find a Graduate Job Using LinkedIn. My name is Mark Anderson. I'm a career coach, and basically on this webinar, I'm going to be showing you a couple of techniques that you can use if you're in that position where you're thinking, I need to find a job. I've been doing all this job hunting and I'm not really getting anywhere at the moment. Here's a couple of tips that I will show you over the next half an hour or so that you can use that will help you in your pursuit of finding that elusive graduate job. Okay, so just to tell you a bit about myself, first of all, like I said, my name is Mark Anderson. I've been a career coach for the past 15 years or so. A lot of my time I've spent working in schools, and a lot of my time I currently spend also working with adults, generally adults who are in work, but they're unhappy in what they're doing at the moment. So they're wanting to do something different, but they don't really know what to do or where to start. And I'm really passionate about helping people to find work that they love, that they're passionate about, that they find fulfilling. Work, in my opinion, isn't just about something that you do just to just to pay the bills. It's something that allows you to make the best of yourself and to uh, bring your personality to work. And it's really important that you are spending 8 hours a day doing something that you enjoy and that you find fulfilling. So I'm really passionate about helping people to find that, whether they're at the beginning of that journey or perhaps even in the middle of their career journey. So I'm based down in Brighton, and I spend a lot of my time within the Sussex area and also up and down to London occasionally. So that's just a brief bit about me. Not only am I a career coach, but I've also been in the position where you may be at the moment, having finished university, not really sure what to do. Went for a big career change myself at the age of 30, and I'm now doing work that I really love and find get satisfaction from. So that's a bit about me. But obviously, the main reason why you're here is because you're wanting to find out a bit more about how you can use LinkedIn to find work. So during this session, you're able to ask questions if you like in the questions box down on the right, or you can also drop me a tweet at Ideal Job Coach, or you can send me an email to mark@kickstartcareers.co.uk at any stage, whether it's during this webinar or beyond. I also have a Facebook page called Kickstart Careers, and you're able to post questions or queries on that as well. Okay, so LinkedIn. What are the benefits of using LinkedIn? I mean, I would imagine that you've possibly already registered on LinkedIn and not really done a huge amount with it. You're not really sure exactly what to do. Or perhaps you've just heard of it, but you've not really done anything with it. And I'll be showing a bit later on about how you can get started on LinkedIn, but it's important that you understand the benefits of using LinkedIn. The first thing about LinkedIn is that you can get email job alerts. So once you've registered, you've put in details about the kind of job that you're looking for, you can then get email job alerts because they will obviously know what type of work you're looking for. So anytime on a regular basis that jobs are available, you will get emails about that. Secondly, you're able to connect with professionals. It's a professional website or social networking site, so you are able to make contact with people who are actually out there doing the work that you possibly might be interested in doing. And there might be people out there who know the people that you need to get in contact with. So it's a huge networking site. So it's not just about helping you to find a job, but it's also, for people who are already working and who want to make connections with other people. Because once you're in the world of work, making contacts, getting connections is an important part of developing your career and developing the work you're even currently doing. So that's another benefit of using LinkedIn. On LinkedIn, you can also conduct company research. So any company that's really serious about where it's going will already be registered on LinkedIn, and they will have information on the basics of that company on LinkedIn as well. So the company will have a LinkedIn page. You can look on it, see what's going on in that company at this moment in time, and just find out a bit more about it in your research. And one of the key things that employers say to me as to the reason why people might not get a job if they've applied for a job is that they don't really know enough about the company. So LinkedIn is another fantastic way that you can do your research and find out as much as you can about a company during your application process. Also, you can get recommendations. So if you've already done an internship or you've done work experience in the past, or even if it's just part-time work, you can get recommendations from people that you've worked with in the past on LinkedIn. So they can recommend you and put a brief sentence or two about you or about what you're like to work with and what your credentials are. And that's a really fantastic way of just showcasing yourself. So if somebody's going to look on your profile, they'll look at the recommendations from other people to see what they've said about you. And that will really go far in terms of your suitability for employment, because it's all very well on LinkedIn saying how wonderful you are, but if you can get other people to say that, then it's a fantastic means that you can do that. Okay.
The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Okay, so I'm just going through, for those of you who have just joined, I'm going through the main benefits of using LinkedIn. So I've already mentioned, just to recap, that LinkedIn is a way that you can get email job alerts. So if somebody has already, if you've registered on LinkedIn and you've put some information about the type of work you're looking for, then you will from then on get email job alerts related to that type of work from then on. Also, it will enable you to connect with professionals. So people who are already out there working, maybe working for the company that you're interested in working for, you can make connections with them, start asking them questions and doing some research that way. You can do general company research. Like I said, it's a fantastic way to do some research about a particular company that you might be interested in working for, or perhaps a company that you've applied for. And before the interview, you want to do some research about that company, see what's going on in their world at this moment in time. Then you can do your research on that company. And like I said, lots of employers will say to me, people don't get the job because they don't know enough about the company. So when they're asked about the company in the interview, they're stuck. So this is a fantastic way that you can do some research on the company. And also you can get recommendations on LinkedIn as to people who you've worked with before, people that you may have done an internship with. If they're on LinkedIn, they can recommend you. And that's a fantastic way or a fantastic addition that you can put on your profile to just show people how wonderful you are, because I know that you are. Companies can also find you on LinkedIn. So once you've done your profile, if a company is looking for a particular graduate, they will put in certain search credentials or criteria onto LinkedIn. And then if you've put in the relevant and correct information on your profile, then your details will come up if a company is interested in somebody like you. So that's why it's really important to have a good profile on LinkedIn. So it's not just about you finding out about individuals or companies, but also companies can find you on LinkedIn. You can also connect with other graduates or undergraduates from your university on LinkedIn, and I'll be showing you a bit about how you can do that a bit later on, because it's important that you make contact with pretty much everybody that you know who might be on LinkedIn, because the more contacts you have on LinkedIn, the more chance there is of, let's say, somebody that you know knowing somebody that you need to get in contact with. So like people say, it's not about what you know, but who you know. It's not always the case, but it can certainly help when it comes to networking and job hunting. And it can also increase your chances of landing a job overseas. So LinkedIn, obviously, it's a global social network. So there are people all over the world on LinkedIn. So if you're wanting to look for work opportunities in another country, then LinkedIn is a fantastic way of making contact with people who are overseas. And who knows, maybe there are people that you know, or graduates from your university who are currently working overseas, maybe for a company that you're interested in working for, that you can make contact with. So it's not just about jobs in the UK, it's about opportunities, internships abroad as well. So those are the key benefits of LinkedIn and why it can be useful for somebody like yourself. So, like I've said before about this particular webinar, LinkedIn can help you to answer two specific questions. First of all, if you're job hunting and you're thinking, what are alumni from my degree and my university doing at this moment in time? LinkedIn can help you to answer that question. And also, if you're thinking, right, if I want to work for X company, what is a typical pathway? Okay, so those are the key things that the two key things that I'm going to show you how to do on LinkedIn now. So let's take a look. So bear with me while I bring up my LinkedIn page. So if you've registered on LinkedIn, this is what a typical home page might look like. So you can see at the tabs at the top there, if I scroll along to education and I go down to find alumni, what it will do is take me to a page which at the top it says Manchester Metropolitan University because that's where I went. And as you can see, over 69,000 people that went to Manchester Metropolitan University are currently registered on LinkedIn. So that's the starting point. But what I want to do is to narrow that search down. What I can do is look for people who went to the university between a specific time period. So where it says attended, I can put in dates here, but I want to leave that broad and blank for now. So let's say, for example, I went to Manchester Metropolitan University and I want to find out, let's say I did a law degree and I want to find out what law graduates have gone on to do from Manchester University. So as you can see here in these various columns, you've got what they do, what they studied, what they're skilled at. And if I scroll along, you'll see other ones. So where they live, where they work, and how I'm connected with that person. You may not have many connections once you started on LinkedIn, but that will build up in time. So what I want to do is, let's go back, what they studied. If I go down here to law, I can click there. Or if the degree that I'm looking for, or the one that I studied isn't on the list, what I can do is click on the search tab here and type in the degree and it will start to come up. But mine is here, I can see it here, law. Click on law and it will start to narrow my search down. So I've clicked on law and let's say I'm looking for people who work currently in the legal profession. That may not be the case. You might have done a law degree and you're thinking, actually, I don't want to go into law. Maybe I want to do something else. On that first column there, you can see what other law graduates from the university have gone on to do. So sales, operations, human resources, it varies. But you can see the majority have gone into the legal profession. So let's say that that's what I want to do as well. So I'll click on legal too. What they're skilled at, I'll leave that blank for now. So I'll keep that broad. I'll scroll along. So where they live, let's focus on the UK. So what I've got is people who've studied at Manchester Metropolitan Uni, did law, work in the legal profession, living in the UK. Where are they working? So as you can see from this column here, it's narrowed it down to all of these employers. So you can see the most common one at the top, only 14 people, but that's enough to go on. So I can click on Stevenson's Solicitors here. And if I scroll down, I will now be able to see all of those people who studied at the university working at Stevenson's Solicitors that also went to Manchester to do law. So what I can now do is make a connection with any of these people. Now, because on my profile it's indicating that I went to Manchester Metropolitan University, I will already have something in common with these people. So it means that I am able to make direct contact with these people, any of these people here. So what I will do is click on, first of all, you can see here the year that they graduated, so it varies. So if I clicked on any of them here, that means that I want to connect with that person. So if I was to, it says first of all, how do you know this person? And then I can put down classmate, for example. So you would choose the university. And then you can personalize a message to the person. So rather than leaving it as the standard one that's always here on LinkedIn saying, I'd like to add you to my professional network on LinkedIn, make it a bit more personal. So you could say something like, oh, I understand that I can see here that you also did law at University of Manchester, Manchester Metropolitan, and you're working at this particular employer. Do you mind if I ask you a couple of questions about what you're doing and how you got to be where you are? And then hopefully you'll get a response. So that's basically how you can use LinkedIn to make contact with people who have a similar background to you, who are perhaps ahead of you and doing what you're wanting to be doing. I could, for example, let's say, for example, I'm interested in working for a particular company. So if I get rid of all of these, and let's say, regardless of what degree I did, I'm interested in working for Marks and Spencer, let's say. So what I would do is scroll across to where they work. And if I look down here, I'll see Marks and Spencer. Let's focus on the UK again. Scroll back across. And you can see that the majority of people who went to Manchester and are working at M&S are working either in sales or any of these areas in this column. And if I want to see what they studied, I can look in this column here, just to give me an idea of what the possibilities are. And the fantastic thing about this tool is that perhaps if you've done a degree that is an academic or non-vocational degree, like your history or geography, it's a really useful tool for you to see what graduates from that particular degree have gone on to do. And it just will expand your thinking and just to see enable you to see what the possibilities are in terms of what you could do once you've finished at that university. I don't have to focus on Manchester. Yes, that's where I went, but I can change the university. So if I was to click here to change university, and if I wanted to put in a different university, let's say, I don't know, Bournemouth. So you've got Bournemouth University here. I can now click on that and see what graduates from that particular university have done. So those are all my particular connections that went to Bournemouth. But let's say I'm interested in, if I did a degree in, let's say, animation. I know that's a common one, so I can type in animation. Can I spell it? Okay. No, I can't. Dear me. Okay, and I clicked on that. I know animation's a big one for Bournemouth University, and you're looking to connect with people who did art and design. Well, what they do is art and design. You can scroll across and you can see where they work. And then again, if you've been to that university, you can make direct contact with any of these individuals that work at, let's say, Double Negative. So I think you get the picture. And like I said, it's a fantastic way that you can make direct contact with people who've been to your university. If it's a different university, it may be a bit harder to make contact with them because you don't necessarily have anything in common with them. But you may have friends who know these people. You may have friends that went to that university. So LinkedIn is another website where you can actually ask people that you know to put you in touch with people that you don't know, if that makes sense. So that's the real benefit of using LinkedIn, to make contact with people who are already doing what you might be interested in doing in the future. And generally you find that if people are really loving their job, they're quite happy to make connections with you. And if they see that they've got something in common with you, i.e. the university that you went to, then they're usually quite happy to make contact with you. But if one person doesn't reply, then you can always contact another, or you can contact several people at a time. So that's basically all I wanted to show you in terms of what you can use LinkedIn for. Like I said, it's not just about looking at current job vacancies. If there's no vacancies relevant to what you're looking for at this moment in time, it means that you're stuck. So it means that what you can use LinkedIn for is a more proactive approach. So you don't have to wait for vacancies to appear before you take action. Start talking to people who are doing what you'd like to be doing. And that can open up the door in the future, because it will help. If you suddenly see a vacancy for a company that you'd like to work for, and you've already made contact with an individual that works with that company in the past, it will make life a lot easier. And that person could always put a good word in for you as well if you've applied for their job and sent in an application form. So networking is really important when it comes to job hunting, and it allows you to use a proactive approach in your job search. However, if you're sitting there thinking, yes, it's all very well to use LinkedIn to answer these questions, but how do you get started? How do you know what to do on LinkedIn? And it's not, I would admit, it's not the easiest of websites to get your head around. And it can be quite complicated. And there is a right and a wrong way of using LinkedIn. So it's important that you start off on the right foot, going through the right procedures to do that. So one of the things that I've got on my website, which is kickstartcareers.co.uk, is a resources page. And what I've got is a step-by-step guide to how you can use LinkedIn to find work. And it's only £10, but what it is, it's basically a bit like it's a visual step-by-step program where you can see what you need to be doing on LinkedIn to get started and how you can effectively put your profile up before you do anything else on LinkedIn. And that's really important because what you don't want to do is to do your research, look for companies, and then somebody from that company might think, oh, who's this person looking at the company? Let me go and look at their profile. And then they realize the profile is empty or incomplete and you've missed your chance. So it's really important that you do your profile first correctly. So it's only £10 and you can take the step-by-step procedure to get started on LinkedIn and get an effective profile on LinkedIn. If you do that, what I will say to you now is that if you purchase this guide on the website and complete your profile by the end of this week, that's Friday the 14th of August by 5 o'clock, I'll personally check your profile, look at your summary of what you've put on your profile, and give you feedback by the end of August. So basically, if you can get that done by the end of this week, I will have a look let me know once you've done that and once you've purchased the guide, and I will give you some personal feedback to using to get started on LinkedIn. It's really important that, sometimes when you're job hunting and you're thinking, what else could I be doing? This is usually the thing that I'm saying to graduates about what else they could be doing. And whatever it is that's new, you have to step out of your comfort zone in order to make good strides. And like I said before, a lot of these, or most top employers are on LinkedIn. And if they're on LinkedIn, willing to communicate with other people in the outside world, then you need to be on LinkedIn as well. And this is just a starting point. And it's really important that you cover all your bases and you make sure that you're doing everything that you can do in order to find graduate work quicker rather than leaving it to drag on into the autumn. So that's it really. Those are the key things. If there are any questions, feel free to just drop me an email, mark@kickstartcareers.co.uk, or you can go to the Kickstart Careers Facebook page, or you can tweet me on Ideal Job Coach. So I think I've covered everything. And like I said, do keep in touch. If there's any problems, if you've got any queries, do let me know. And thanks for joining me. Take care. Bye then.